Live.
But it says live. It didn't say
Wowza.
live 20 minutes ago, so it's better.
And we were clocking and we were going so well. And hi. Hi JGP. Welcome everyone. Guess what? It's happening now. And now we hear the alerts. This is why it's so important to have them. Listen, thank you, everyone. And thank you, JGP. John George's Perrin is here with us today. We had some technical difficulty. I thought that I hit the button, and guess what? I didn't. And we were in such a great conversation that I was like, yes, and we were going, and the stream was not going. So you guys missed out on some really good convo. But guess what? JGP is so gracious. He's willing to tell us all about everything all over again. I am so happy that you all are here. Thank you so much. Welcome to Tish Talks Tech. Today's guest is John Georges Perrin. You will not believe this individual is a TEDx speaker, an IBM champion, not just any IBM champion, a lifetime IBM champion, the king of data. I heard another data, but we're not going to say, and just a wonderful individual. Welcome, JGP. Thank you so much for coming to the show and being here and telling us your story and sharing your Sunday with us and just being this amazing individual. Do you mind going through your story and telling us about how you became this powerhouse person, this technologist that we know today? And by the way, chat is open. So if you're with us, which I know you are, welcome and feel free. We're ready.
Well. So first of all, thank you, Tish, and let's for the records, okay, make sure that I was not late because everybody's saying that French people are always late. I was not late. It was a real
Oh
technical problem we had
no! Oh
just
yeah!
before.
No, no,
No, no, no.
no. I did not. I had that pesky little button that's in orange on the right hand side of my screen, and I thought that I hit it, and I thought it said go live.
I'm
It
yeah.
didn't.
It's just fun. It's Sunday for IT as well. They're a little bit off. So,
Yeah,
but hey, so no,
I'm
so
forgetful sometimes. I have
It's
to work
no,
on it.
I'm not saying I'm not blaming anyone. Okay, really not. I'm really
But
honored.
you
I'm
were
really pleased to be
wonderful.
with you. It's fun. And if we
Yeah.
didn't have any technical issues, it would be less fun as well. It kind of you know moves things around a little bit. So anyway, yeah. So how did I came to technology? I think there's a combination of things. So first, I I owe a lot to my. I think I really owe a lot to my parents. So my dad is retired now, but was an engineer. My mom was retired too. She was a teacher, and I think this influence of parents and parental influence really helped in the way in the way of drafting where I wanted to go. Okay, so and I because yeah, I love technology, but something that I love almost as much as technology is sharing the knowledge I'm grasping. So I'm grasping and I'm gathering. Okay, so it's really like I love learning and I love sharing what I learn. And I think there's no better place than technology to do that because it's constantly changing. There's constantly new stuff. It's moving fast. The pace is sometimes a little bit incredible. And I think that if you want to be successful, not saying that I am, but if you want to be successful, you've got to keep learning.
Mm,
And this is your that's what I'm doing, but you're a perfect example of that as well. Okay, and I'm not
really?
reversing the rules here, but your journey as should inspire a lot of people as well. So um
You're too sweet.
so yeah, so that's how I went there, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I know that like you you took the time to develop these skills. And I think that that's the part of your journey that I really admire the most is the time that you took and you put in the work. And I think that that's the part that folks should take away and say, ah, it's not just about, well, I got this task done. It's more about the research and putting in the work and the time for it. And it's also very rewarding, isn't it? So when you sit back and you look, what's your takeaway on that? Excuse me.
I I I I I don't know. That's an interesting thing. I don't think it was a coordinated journey, to be honest. At some point, so I remember. So in your careers, there's some kind of life events, okay, or special event, and I remember. I think it was maybe 2006 or something, and there was I went to an IBM conference in Anaheim in California. I was living in France at that time still, and the subtitle of the conference was "Take Back Control," and I
Mm,
felt like, of course, it was take back control of your IT. It was take back control of your systems, blah blah blah. Okay, the IBM way, but I took it as, let's take back control of my career. Okay, and I was at that time,
ooh,
I was I've always been I think, an entrepreneur at art as well, and I was just finishing my first startup, and it didn't finish really the way I wanted, and I saw that, okay, this conference was giving me a very strong signal that I was ready for my next step. Okay, so and but it was not deliberate. I wish, to be honest with you, Tish, I really wish that I could say something like, okay, I'm going to do that, and then that will happen, and then something else will happen. I think it's more like, I wish I had a journey. I think I have a journey when I look at my past, okay, but going
right,
forward, I wish I had that. I think it's more like trying to be curious, to be a child all the time. You see all the toys I have in my back. That's my 52-year-old teddy bear, and if I
mm,
move a little bit, you see plenty of Legos. But the thing is, I think it's probably staying childish in a way. Okay, like being amazed by things when
yeah,
I'm seeing, for example, what we can do with AI. The first thing is, I'm amazed before seeing, is that ethically correct? Okay. um but just enjoy things, like and try to understand how it works. And that's maybe the engineer in me looking at different things. So I think I don't have, I have a next step. I have a few next steps, but
right,
they're not, really long time goals. They're more like, tactics, small strategies, and things like that. But yeah, and the thing is, yeah, I see Sherry saying curiosity
very
is a great trait. It, that's not what your parents actually are teaching you when you're a kid, right? They say
right,
curiosity is not a good trait. So, but I think it is. I think it
yeah,
is. It makes you curious. It makes you naive in a way. It makes you want to look at that. And I think I've got a lot of people that I can be thankful for. Um, that helped me on this way as well. So, and
Right.
showed me different things. So yeah, but go beyond yourself, right? Go like you did. At some point, you decided, hey, I don't want to be that anymore. I want to work with mainframes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to be just one thing. Like you can do this or you can
Yeah.
just do that, or you can make this better by adding something new, So, folks, it's not, I guess, what you're saying, JGP, or what I'm taking from it is you can actually expand your horizon.
Yes.
There's more to what is beyond what you see. There's more beyond the ocean.
Yeah, and I'm thinking right now of a friend of mine who unfortunately passed away recently, Ron Flannery, and it was the first guy to come to me and say, "I like you because you're thinking out of the box." So first, the thing is, I didn't even know what that mean. It was early 2000 or something like that. Okay, so I didn't know if it was kind of insulting to me, or I was just barely having a little bit of a regular journalist coming to the US. So, but I think it's that it's really, I think it's positive. It was probably one of the best compliment profession I got professionally, thinking out of the box. You're not limited to what your
Mm,
mind tells you to do. You've got to look elsewhere. So yeah.
yeah, I love that.
Mhm.
So tell everybody and you told me before, you said, "Oh, no." But I when I look at you and I look at your career, and I think I'm like, what is it that JGP doesn't do? Because to me, you're again limitless, right? And so, and a lot of the technologies that we know, and trust, we know a lot of some amazing folks, but are limitless. So what part of technology do you specialize in? Tell us about that.
So I would say, by trade, okay, I am a software engineer, um,
Mhm.
and I I like to say these days that I self-identify as a data engineer, because I think I'm loving data more and more. Um,
Mhm.
so 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 that's in the realm of where I stand, not still, but I stand. I think that I can't just see data without, and that was probably my problem at the beginning, is that I don't see data as something that is just there. A lot of people make an analogy with data on water. You've got data lake, you've got data flowing, you've got all these things, but I see that data is a bit more like a blurb, and you've got to be able to interact with it. Okay, so through
Mm,
BI tools, through applications, but you've got to make the because it's a very difficult thing to grasp. Okay, the
okay.
power of data, you've got to create a wonderful experience. If you're not creating an experience when you're accessing your data, um, then it's a bit of a waste. You don't want to make it too complicated. You want things to make kind of easy to get into, understand, get
Mhm.
insights out of it. And I think we are
Right.
really at the very beginning of that. Okay, so we're really, you're really at the rudimentary level of that, and so that's why I may give the impression of being a little bit all over the place, and that's true, and that's also my that's
I don't see you like that. I just don't. I see you
okay.
as, and I'm plugging in my computer, but I see you as this sort of genius because you do things with
Oh,
data that other people can't do. I just, how many people do things with data that you do? I'll wait.
I have names. No, I think so. Okay. Uh, uh, the thing is, I don't write. I hate labels. Okay, so when I'm thinking about Ron's statement about thinking out of the box,
Yeah,
I don't want to be labeled as well,
right.
and I think I don't want to be put in a box.
No.
So for that, I really want to know about the technology, but I want to know about the usage, and I want to be able to understand it enough that I can actually make it easy to share with other people. Okay, so like my famous little book about data, the little illustrated story explaining data mesh to people. So the idea it was really to be able to understand enough to be to and deep enough to create this abstraction. And but I think it the width of it, the breadth, should also come there. It's not only about profiles where you see every breadth of the people and the experience, and you've got this T shape or whatever. I don't like to be. I don't like this kind of place where you put people. I just want
Hmm.
to understand more. And the thing is, a bit like a bit like a knowledge graph is jumping to the next thing. Okay, so if I know this, it relates to this thing, but also to this thing, and how do they work together? Okay, and that's maybe how I get into trouble.
It's okay.
The-
It's
yeah.
okay. It's okay. I admire what you do and how you break things down. I like the fact that you wrote Data Mesh for All Ages. I purchased that book. I'm sending it to um, a young person, and I know that they're going to love it. When I opened it, because I had to see for myself, I like the back pages where you have. Is it okay if I?
Oh, we can talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the back pages where you have where it says these are intentionally left blank so that you can draw your own data mesh. Because it's important for these young minds to be able to say, okay, well, like this is my truck and my dollhouse, and this is, I don't know, this is the fire station, and they all talk to each other and they can call each other, and that's so important. And they can draw that out, and this is 3, 4, 5 years old, right? And it's happening now. We're not waiting until 16, 17, 18, and even then it's too late, even though the understanding might be a little better. But starting now with all of those brilliant colors, the pages are nice and crisp and thick enough to be able to turn. If you all haven't received it, and it's in different languages, I love that. you know don't get me started.
No, 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 no,
You'll
no,
keep
no.
going.
But you're a better salesperson about my book than I am. So it's good. I would let you go on that. So
Right.
so so the idea with the book is, yes, it's I wanted to make something easy.
Yeah.
I also wanted to give back. So I committed, and I already did once this year, that 50% of what I'm making from the book, I'm giving back to two charities I picked, because those are two topics that are really close to my heart.
Hmm.
There's one is Girls Who Code, and the other one is Black Girls
Hmm.
Code. I'm going
Hmm.
to do it. I'm going to say it correctly. So because I think that first, we don't have a lot of women in our industry, and I think we should have more. I loved working with women in our industry because, sorry guys, but I think they are smarter than we are, and they are more rigorous than we are, and they are less ego driven than we are. Okay, and I want to make sure that by this very small effort that I'm doing, that we make sure that they feel comfortable in this industry, and that they have their place, and they get the energies here. So that's one thing. The idea of the book was twofold. It was for kids, like a little bit like the inspiration was I've seen someone doing this quantum computing for babies, so that was kind of a little bit the original
Mhm.
inspiration. I I like the idea. I like the idea of the book, but I I wanted to have something, not only for not only for babies, but for any kids. Okay, so I think, although I know that my youngest reader, I think, was 3 days old. That's yeah. So I got a picture of his grand grandfather reading the book to the little kid.
I love
But it
that. I love
but
that
it was
so much.
it was to be honest, I can be very emotional, so it was a little bit teary for me. um and I was so grateful that I got some pictures. um and it's someone I didn't know before, so that's also
Yeah.
something, it's just this pure act of kindness. So and he bought the book, and I sent him another copy in French. So I said, "Look, now you can also teach your grandkid about French." So,
Exactly.
uh, so anyway, but the other target audience were VPs. Okay, so it's kids. So when people ask me, I said it's for kids and VPs, because and that's something, is that we assume a lot that people, and it's not that I don't find that they're stupid. Okay, so VPs, I've never been a VP, so I think they're probably pretty smart. But the thing is, you you need to adapt your language for people that have limited amount of time. Okay, so that's also kind of a keep that as a lesson when you're communicating in a corporate way.
Mhm.
Keep that in mind. Okay, keep in mind that you've got to adapt to your audience, and throwing spreadsheets or um, raw values or just pure data is not helping. Okay, but finds a way to share the information, to share your message with the people. So that was kind of a little bit the other idea with the book as well.
I like that a lot because we always talk about communicating and how can you do that effectively, especially within this space. And I find that pictures does
Yes.
everything. If you can just show me something, oh, okay, that makes sense. Show me. And I love that. I love that. And color, your use of color in this book is magnificent.
I wanted I wanted, okay, so one thing I wanted to do is I wanted to use the colors of the rainbow. Okay, so that's why everything is kind of, running around,
Yeah.
the colors of the rainbow. And because it's also, you can give you can, that's another message, right? The thing is,
Mhm.
and if I push myself a little bit, you see my Lego here, which I have not built yet, about, about that. That's also, there's always a little bit of this shared values. Okay, this is not only a book about technology, it's a book about values.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You get to do what makes your heart sing. And
you
I
can
and I
play,
love that part.
you can play a little bit. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about the the misconception of AI just a
Hmm.
tiny bit, because some folks want to talk about AI and they say, "Oh, it's awful. It's going to take our jobs." How do you debunk that, or how do you champion it? It's your world. Let us know.
Well, in all honesty, that's also why we need to keep learning, right? The thing is, if you keep learning, then you're more valuable to your employer. So he's probably, or they're probably not going to see you as dead meat over some time. Not that
Mhm.
it always worked for me, okay, but but I think that AI, and I'm going to take my a little bit my IBM champion hat here. But the thing is, and I like what IBM is doing in terms of AI, because they're trying to make it responsible from the ground up. Okay, so it's
Mm.
not like a, it's not, and they've committed to that. But the thing is, and I don't want to go into a pro or a pro IBM or IBM bashing story here. But the thing is, from what I've seen, is that this responsibility, this ethics, and I was just commenting with a friend this morning. I think as I age a little bit, I'm more and more sensitive to ethics. I think this is what we need to be, to to be to be thinking about. I'm really passionate about what Asimov said about the laws of robotics, because I think, and they are, you should not do harm, blah blah blah. So all this three, and then the zeroth one that came after. But anyway, so that was for me, that should apply as well to AI, because kind of it's AI is kind of the brain. So you've got to set up some, going back to values, some fundamental values to that. Okay, so you should not do any harm. Will it affect jobs? Yes, it will. Yes. The thing is, it will. There's no doubt about it. It's like, did did any evolution in technology affected jobs? Um, you don't see any women being switch operators anymore, right? Everybody's using a mobile phone these days. Okay, so
Mm.
so 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 those jobs are gone. The number of secretaries have also disappeared. When you look at factory workers, they've also, robotic came in and removed a lot of workers. So when I'm thinking about these jobs here, the idea is, yeah, maybe that was a lot of manual labor we were seeing that disappeared. But what about intellectual labor? What about knowledge workers? Okay, so now AI is a little bit after them, but
Mm.
it's either you're fighting it or you're embracing it. Okay, so if you're fighting it, then I think you're going to have a difficult time. If you're embracing it, you can be a better knowledge worker. Okay, so it's always that. And so if you combine this with ethics, I think it's a win-win. Okay, so for you, for your employer, because yeah, because it's, and we've got, and I think it's there. It's a bit like Pandora's box. Someone opened it. Was it? Everybody thinks it's OpenAI that opened the thing. I think OpenAI was a significant step with ChatGPT, where but you've seen as fast as where other people came after that. Okay, so it's like a
Yeah.
Bard and Bing and Watson X. They came very quickly after that because everybody was kind of working on this kind of concept before. It's not like, oh, open AI was just, oh, we're just going to do that and we're the first. Yeah, but
Magic.
yeah,
Yeah.
so there were the first, but the thing is,
Right.
it was a trend that was coming in. So,
Mhm.
so do we? Should we be afraid of it? Yeah, I think we should be a little bit afraid. We should be concerned about it. Should we fight it completely? I don't think so. I think we should also be, as citizens, be concerned about what the political system is doing. And I don't want to sound pro in any political way, but I think that what Biden is doing right now is a good first step in terms of trying to regulate it. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be perfect, but at least there's some things they try to do. We can't blame them for trying, at least. And I think that I think that companies like IBM, what they do with with the model and sourcing the models and being very clear about where the data is coming from, and also ensuring that when you use their model, you're in a little bit in their sandbox. Okay, that
Mhm.
so that your data is not going to flow to your competition or whatever, like what could happen with other vendors. I think this is where things are getting a little bit under control. Okay, so it's not perfect yet. Uh, I don't know if it will ever be, but it's like every new technology. Okay, so we'll see where it brings there. And there's also bad actors. Okay, so the thing is, if we don't embrace it, the bad actors are going to embrace it anyway. Like a phishing techniques have been on the rise. People using the number of cyber attacks these days are also completely increasing because of using AI. Is it the fault of AI or is it the fault of bad guys? The thing is, obviously, it's not AI's fault. Okay,
Right.
so I think
Right.
we should be concerned, but not in a panic mode. We should just be,
Mhm.
but we should definitely embrace it. So it's like, I've been the first startup I participated in, was around the web in the mid '90s when it was really the beginning of the web, and people were afraid as well of, oh, this is going to be dangerous, or is going to be porn everywhere or whatever, right? The thing is, and it's not what has happened. Everybody's using the web right now. Okay, so we are
Yeah.
using the web right now. So I think let's maybe I have too much faith in humanity at some point as well. I don't know.
Well, uh, my daddy used to say, if you're afraid of it, learn about it. You
That's a
know.
very good. That's a very good piece of wisdom. Yep.
Yeah. so maybe that's something that has to be done. So let's go into chat because chat has been kind of on it right now. So David Staudacher was saying, let's see, he says, I love sharing what I learn. Excellent. We need more like you. Not only are things changing, but there's also usually a whole lot more one can learn about what is already here. There are depths of knowledge in IT, which most floating along with a raft in an open ocean have no idea are even there. And then Sherry was letting us know about your book that it does make a great baby gift. She's just saying. And
Well, and there's
that's true.
on yeah, that's true. And Etsy there's this one, which is with the thick pages, so you can and printed with ink you can actually chew on. Okay, so it's a lot. This one is a little bit pricier because of the shape of all those things, but it's really
Yeah.
it's a typical real baby book. So, but yeah, I didn't get it to make it for a reasonable price, so it's pretty pricey, but it's actually a fun one. So.
Okay, that's really neat. That's the thicker one. See, I was looking for the thicker one. I got mine from Amazon.
Yeah.
But I like the feel of the page. It's very I don't know, but then again, I'm kind of I like the
Oh, I
touch
love
and
paper.
texture of
I
things.
love
It's
paper. Yeah. Yeah. So
yeah,
you got
I
you
like
got you got
paper.
you got you got this one, the thin skinny one.
The thin
So
skinny one, yeah.
yep.
But I like the way that it feels. It's very
Oh no,
nice.
I think it's through Amazon what they call Kindle digital publishing, and they honestly, they did a pretty good job. So yeah.
Pretty good job. Pretty good job. But
Yep.
the Etsy one is the creme de la creme. It's the really nice one.
So
That's the
Etsy
one that
actually,
you want
okay.
to, the gift giver is
So
the,
so
the
so
chewable. Oh,
and we should stop after that. But the thing is, there's actually three of them. Okay, so there's the hardcover which you can get on Etsy as well. Okay,
okay.
and if you go to a conference, this is usually the one I give away.
Okay.
Um, so this one unfortunately does not have the draw your own data mesh on this one. This is a real baby one, the real baby book. Okay,
Right.
so this is with the thick pages, like you can give it to baby, designed for babies, and
Right.
so they can chew on it as well, and the thin skinny one, which is the Amazon one. Okay, so
Yeah.
done.
For
We're not
those
speaking
that
about
are
the book.
for those that are writing, and that's the one that I'm sending to the young person that will be drawing their own data mesh
I hope so.
when they're reading. And then we have another for a little later. Now, I have some
Oh,
more questions for you.
mhm.
Let's see here. I want to talk about hmm, I want to talk about this extracurricular activities. We'll flip it a little bit.
Okay,
What do you like to do in your free time?
which implies I have free time.
You have free time.
But we also have four kids. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's kind of what I try to do on my free time. But what am I doing is, um I'm not an avid reader, except for French comic books. Um, I love French comic books from the French and Belgian schools of comic books. They have like Tintin, Asterix. So I recently went back to France and I had a suitcase full of those books. Yeah, that's the one I carried on the plane because it was too heavy, and they didn't know if it was very heavy when I went. That's the ones they don't weigh. But
Wow.
so
Are
so so so
original?
uh, no, it's normal. The one you would get, the
Okay.
one you
Okay.
would get at Borders, or there's no more
Mm,
Borders, but or Amazon or whatever. But it's really like they are thicker. They're not. They are more like a real hardcover book. Okay, so that's a.
okay.
But the storyline and the plot is not. It's not the DC comics, or it's not the superheroes. It's more. I think it's a little bit more. Uh, I would say a little bit more complex. It's not mangas as well, so they're not very popular in the US, really. And so that's the one I like to read. Uh, I like sci-fi a lot. So I
Mm,
think I think um, um, I don't think I have a lot of ideas myself, but I see a lot of ideas in sci-fi, and I like to be inspired by them. I think people are really creative in there. So sometimes they're a bit too creative, and they think that they share a message that technology is really easy, which not really, but still.
I'm in the mainframe.
So
I'm so good.
no, but hey, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
um so what else do I do? I live in upstate New York, so I like to go outside. I used to be, when I moved to the US, I moved in North Carolina, but I was a little bit too dependent on air conditioning in North Carolina. So I didn't enjoy the outdoor as much as I
It's
like them
hot.
here. It's hot. Yes, it's hot and
It's hot.
humid.
Mhm.
So I'm happy we moved. And right now there's no snow yet, but there's already been once some snow, and we're looking for the next one. And in France, I was happy when they were a Christmas with snow, and here
Mm,
I'm even happy when we've got a Thanksgiving with snow. So
yeah.
that's so and I would say that's. But the thing I try to do a lot of different little things. Like I like to do photos, but I never have the time to really focus enough. I like
What type of photography?
uh, anything. I like architecture.
Mm,
I'm in a wonderful place here for birding a little bit, so I try to do a little bit of birds, but trying even to get some very nice family pictures and souvenirs like that. But I like to play with Legos. Okay, so this one's for PJ. Um, so
you wanna
uh,
tell us the story behind that? Because
I can.
yeah, go ahead.
So 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 there was a conference. Okay, so that there's a few fun stories about the conference there. Okay, so where we met physically for the first time in person,
Mhm,
and it was in Las Vegas, and so um so there were several things there. The first thing, as a complete anecdote, that's where I got COVID for the first time. So I'm
me
really
too.
hey
We're
uh, so there's really something completely wrong about Vegas. You know what they say about Vegas is what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. This is wrong. You get COVID in Vegas, you bring it back. Okay,
yeah,
so that was one.
yeah.
Um, but the thing is, we went well, you and me went there for Tech Exchange, the new
Mhm,
IBM conference, and the mainframe people were giving little Legos replica of Z16s. Okay,
mhm.
pretty well done, I must admit.
Yeah.
Um, so they were giving only one per person, but I got two, and I've
How
got
how?
because I asked kindly, and I said it was not for me, but it was for a friend of mine who lives not too far in Poughkeepsie, and this is PJ, and was working on the test at the test center for this the real life version of those. So my bag is here. I'm waiting for his invitation, to be honest. Okay, so the thing is, I think he knows I have as a bag of Legos for him, but now PJ, if you look at us right now, and if you better invite me, okay? And this time you're paying,
Oh.
so plenty of private message here. Uh,
Yeah. Okay, so now I get all of the because I looked on LinkedIn, I was like, "Oh, there's a lot of inside jokes going on this," and I
yeah.
could not understand, and I was not going to ask. Was not. Uh, because I figured that was y'all's thing, and I was gonna let that roll. And I'm just so happy to know now. So PJ, please reach out because JGP has your bag of Legos. It's like
So
the grown up
it sounds a
Sunday.
little it sounds a little Craigslisty like that when you say it like that, but you've got the gist. Yes.
Yeah, we got the gist of it. Yeah. Um I love that. But you know what? The community is so cool because all of you all are just everyone talks to each other, and we all, even if we haven't met each other in person, we all know each other, and it's just it's very tight knit, and I think that that's really amazing.
Th- There's a lot
So
of respect and trust, and I think
it is.
this is what makes a good community. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I like it so much. So tell me about how do you keep yourself focused, because like you said, there's a lot of research that you do, and you said it yourself, it seems like it may seem like I'm everywhere, but how do you keep yourself focused at the end of the day?
It's I haven't found the right solution yet. What I what I do is I started making lists not too long ago.
You're a
I think
list maker. I should have
well
known.
not too long ago. Okay, so the thing is, it's more like a the problem with list is that I've been doing lists for a lot of time. Okay, but the problem is that okay, then the list is somewhere and you never go back to it, or you keep adding to it, and then when you look at the list, it's so overwhelming, and then, well, I'm not going to look at that anymore. So
Right.
I try I change a little bit the way I was doing things. So I yes, I'm making a list. I admit it. And but I try to make lists that are reasonable and in size. Okay, so
Okay.
and kind of a little bit focused. I try to avoid lists where there's recurring things because that's just something that I'm not good at. But it's more like a list of oh, I've got there's this thing and that and on. I tried several things. I tried personal Trello boards. I tried things like that. But the thing is, the very basic list is just. And then when I'm saying, okay, oh, it's going to be over, I try to keep it under 30 items. So that's kind of still manageable. But I realize also that as I'm getting wiser,
Mhm.
I hope, I need to rely more on something external to not just my memory. To I think I've got a pretty bad memory. I think I start to realize that it's always been there. It's not like it's getting away, but and I think lists are actually kind of a little bit helping. So when I'm super stressed, which happens unfortunately on a regular basis, um I go with the pomodoro. Okay, so the thing is, or when I'm or when I'm doing something boring and then I want to be able to still focus, um
Mm.
I do 25 minutes of something, and then I do 25 minutes of something else, and etc. And I rotate like that just to make sure that I still have the energy to flush it out, but without focusing on, oh, I'm going to work one day on this thing, and then my mind just goes away and I lose my focus. So that's kind of the two things I'm trying to stay on to 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 focus. I see a message from PJ.
Yeah. So PJ said, "Call me."
I think PJ, it's you've got to call now. Right? I've got the thing you want, so I'm not going to use my minutes and my unlimited plan to call you. Okay, uh, but it's also I think it's also it's also a balance to find. Okay, so one other piece of advice is that's kind of a okay, I've got my list, I've got my 25 minutes, but I've got to think about also that's kind of a the very tactical part, right? uh well, it's going to be a good lunch, and as a very tactical part, but you've got to if you remember when I said about taking back control of your career, right? The
Yep.
thing is, going to conferences for me is part of that. Okay, and I like going to conferences where I don't don't understand all of what's going on. Okay, you need to, I mean, by that, it needs to be a little bit complicated. It needs to make your brain work. And I think that one of the best series of conference I like to go to is Think. Okay, Tech Exchange was great. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but Think makes me think. And that's really why I it gives me some of the vision on some of the strategies on some, how to prepare for what's coming. So, and that's unfortunately I didn't go to anything since COVID. The last one I went to was in 2019 in San Francisco, and I didn't miss any before. And I really, there's quite a few times, and there's, we are also at the time of, Thanksgiving. Okay, so to say about who we're grateful to, I've been really grateful to a guy called Rob Thomas, who's pretty high up in the rank now at IBM. I met him; he was not as high up, um, but he's been an inspiration, and by what he was sharing. Okay, so he was one of the first person of talking about Spark. Okay, and I wrote one of the book on Spark
One of them. Yeah.
because of him. Okay, and that's why I think I guilt him into doing the foreword for my book. But so that's one thing. But the thing is, he was also one of the first to speak about AI, and especially AI for the enterprise. Okay, and that was before all this mess around chat gpt and all those things. So that was AI, the pre-COVID AI, I would say. So there's a lot of things that going to conferences, especially when you're going somewhere and you don't understand all of the things. Like, okay, so I remember as well, I think it was in Vegas when Arvind Krishna was still at the head of R&D and not not completely running IBM. Um, and there was a scientist, she was talking about bacteria that was eating plastics. Okay, and that was an IBM effort. So there's this thing that, to open your mind, right? To help you think out of the box. You need to have this kind of input in you. So the thing is, yes, you can do your research, you can structure your day, you can structure it with lists, with Pomodoro and all those things, but you've got to give your brain also this extra thing, like going to conferences. We were talking about TEDx. Okay,
Hmm.
listening to TEDx, listening to TED, going to high-end conference like Think, or watching sci-fi. Okay, so when you combine all that, this also gives you this appetite for more. So
Right. That curiosity and the imagination and thinking outside of the box and outside of yourself, that's huge. That's huge. Um, so what are how do you escape then? How do you escape besides, expanding your brain? How do you escape? How do you relax?
do you need to relax?
I do.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I can tell
No,
you
I
how I
need
do it,
no,
but I
I
want to
need
know how you do it. How do you do
I'm
it?
I'm 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 really bad at it. And lately, I had a few issues that forced me into, you know finding a way to relax. And what I do is I switch an old habit that I took actually during COVID. I I went to bed with my phone. So that's pre during COVID. That's something that happened. I was, and it's not great. I'm married, but you go to bed with your phone and you check your LinkedIn, your Facebook, and then you switch to Apple TV Plus and you start watching something stupid. Okay, well, they have great shows, but
Yeah, yeah.
just
You want to laugh and
yeah,
Yeah,
trying to relax, or Netflix and chill, right?
right.
So I decided, about about in August, I decided to change a little bit that, and I'm still working on it. But what thing that is actually making me getting a little bit better and relaxing is I reverse the order of that. So instead of getting on these shows and getting on this stream of news in the evening, I decided to do that in the morning. So I'm getting up earlier. I've got a treadmill and a bike, and I'm going there, and I'm just spending some time with my treadmill and my bike, and I'm watching something there. Okay, so and that's actually been super useful for me. I am a lot less stressed. I am a lot I am a lot more relaxed. I start my day with more energy, I think, and I sleep better at night, which also means that I'm going to bed a lot earlier, and sometimes having dinner at 5, like those old people. So, but
Like our
it.
parents, our grandparents did.
But the thing is, I think this is really what has been working. At time, my wife is into yoga, so at times I also do yoga. I'm not
Mm,
very good at it, and I don't always have the patience or the time in the day to do it. But it's also something that really actually helped, quite a bit. And but I think that sleep is really underrated.
yeah, yeah. It's good to relax and to move your body so you can feel better. David Stahldocker wants to know about the books behind you.
The books, oh, those things there, the hexagons there, or is that what you're talking about, David? Oh no, they are not speakers. They are actually the opposite of speakers. Because we when we moved to New York, we moved to a very nice house on top of a hill. I've got a very nice view of the Berkshires there, and unfortunately, the architect of the house decided to limit the number of walls, so so sound is going everywhere, and those are actually trying to avoid that the sound is going everywhere in the house, so they're kind of
Oh, wow.
acoustic tempered things. And I've got some on this wall, I've got one of the on this wall as well. It's helping a bit, but
Well, it's
not as much
aesthetically
as my.
pleasing too. It's very pretty.
Yeah, it's they did a nice design. Yes, yes,
Hmm.
yes. So that was kind of the idea. So
And your bear, what is his name?
Oscar.
I love that. I love that.
So
And then because I know that you've had him for so long, so
he's
um,
52. Yes.
he's 52.
I was telling you that I just came back from France with all my comic book and
Hmm.
my bear. My parents kept my bear. He just recently moved to the US. I'm not sure he's got his green card yet. So I've got to check on that. But maybe I can adopt him and just get citizenship or something. But
And
52,
he needs a proper suit as well.
no, no.
No,
He needs
no, no
to.
clothes. He doesn't
I,
like
I'm
clothes.
I'm not a Barbie person where you need to dress or undress people.
He
Okay.
doesn't need a suit.
No, no, like those bears there, they're also completely naked. And the one that you may not see on the screen, which are there, no, it's okay. Bears can be naked. I've got two
Bears can be
dogs.
naked. Okay.
They're also naked. My dogs, yes, yes.
I love
Well,
that. You know what? Let them roam. Let them roam freely.
exactly.
Let them roam freely. Let me see. What did David say? David's saying,
I love Bang& Olufsen too. I've never been able to afford any of their product, but I think the design of them is really amazing. But and the sound quality as well. So yeah,
the last question that I have for you
yes.
is last year you posted, I think it was last year you posted about your turkey. You cook.
So no, I don't. I eat more
Who's
than I
cooking
eat.
at your house? Because the turkey looks amazing.
So the turkey I did myself.
You do
So
cook.
well, I just did the turkey. So uh, so I it's part of experimenting. I love experimenting. Okay, and so last year for Thanksgiving I did cook the turkey. Um, since June, I'm vegetarian, so there's no turkey this year. So my wife is doing all the cooking. But the only thing is, I'd like to do the turkey, and what I like to do with the turkey, and I think I posted the recipe on my blog, is
Mhm.
a bourbon and beer brine, which was
Mhm.
really a very interesting result, positively interesting result. So I love to. I I love to I love that. So, but as we are in the season, are you? Is there anyone you're especially grateful to, professionally speaking?
Professionally speaking, that I'm
Yes.
grateful to. I have a very strong team of of mentors and coaches. Let's see. You would put me on the spot.
I know. But I told you when we set up the date and it's just before Thanksgiving, it's times to be grateful and give thanks to people.
I I I like I'd like to thank the IBM champion program and all of our fellow champions because without them I would not be able to learn as much as I have, including you, Darren Search. Um, there's so many champions that have just poured into me and have helped me to learn so much about technology. And it's just insane. Like you can't deny the opportunity of meeting new people and learning the things that they want to teach you. And it's almost this gift that they say, "Hey, I noticed that you're eager to learn something. You want to learn this?" And you're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Here, let me just gift wrap that for you." And they gift wrap it, and then they're like, "Here you go." And you're like, "Wow, look at this blessing. Thank you." And it's just amazing. And you could not ask for anything more. And I'm so thankful and grateful for that. Um, and just to be able to associate with like-minded individuals, you just it's there's no comparison. Even the folks with and with all the other organizations as well, share, um, just the tech community at large. It's just been amazing, and I feel like if I start naming names, right, it's I'm gonna
As soon
miss folks.
as soon as you make a list, that's also the thing. Is when I'm making a list of people, I always forget and often the most important people on the list because they're just too omnipresent in a way.
Yeah.
So but I've been thinking, okay, and I wanted to be grateful to three people on the show with you. As I said,
Yes, please send your shout
one
outs because this is your session. This is not
so
about me, even though you put me on. But please, please, it's your session.
So I want to, as I said, I'm pretty grateful to Rob Thomas. Okay, so I think
Yeah.
he's been an inspiration. I think is really someone that is a little bit behind the scene, but when you get a chance to interact with him, and as a president of IDA user group, I we had an event on March 14th, and um, he was there with us, and we had a bit of a debate with Bill Higgins, who was heading Watson X. So it was and some members that made the effort to come. So we had a really good discussions there, and these people. Rob is the CCO of IBM, I guess, the chief commercial officer. So his time's pretty precious. So it was great, and it was full of insight. So really, thanks, Rob, for that. Another person I wanted to thank, especially this year, is my friend Stuart Lytle. You probably know Stuart. Not
Very nice
always.
individual and super
He's a
funny.
very nice person. He's a very funny person. uh and I've known him for a long time, but especially this year, I wanted to be grateful to Stuart, because as a president of a user group, it's not always been easy, and he's really been is at my back. And I'm really grateful for him, because otherwise I would have just given up quite a few times. So thanks, Stuart. And the third person is Libby Ingracia, who who's um yeah, the champions are great, but she's she's the glue that makes it
Makes it
happen.
stick.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
So for this year, that's kind of my trio. Okay. So Rob, Stuart, and Libby. I hope that Libby's kind of can keep that, or I know that she's got more of a team, and more people are getting involved, like Sherry, and that's great. And Sherry's great. I didn't wear her T-shirt, but that's another story for another time. Um, but I think we have managed to create together a great community, as I said, with respect and trust, and that's
Mhm.
most likely in great thanks to these three individuals as well. So
Yeah,
I'm grateful for that.
absolutely. I think that that's a pretty good list. Um, you know, like we said before, like it's amazing what we can do within this community and how we all support each other. And you're right, that's a really good list. I appreciate your shout outs. You have been such a wonderful guest and a very good citizen.
Well, you've been an amazing host. Thank you, Tish, for having me. I really appreciate.
I let me just tell you, the the outpouring of love when folks found out that you were coming on the show was just insane. Folks were like in the DM, I can't believe JGP's coming. How did you get JGP to agree? I'm like, listen, it's got to be the community.
Of course
He's a
it is.
super nice individual, y'all, and he's super busy, but guess what? He's coming and he wants to share. And your contributions to the tech game, just the entire scene. I was told that data mesh is the blanket that covers us all when it was explained to me. And
I,
I appreciate you on like a whole other level. So thanks for coming and sharing your story, and for the encouragement, because again, my audience is really enjoying you and what you do. I'm going to put the links to your series in the description for YouTube. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we close it out?
I'm just extremely grateful to you, Tish, and maybe
Thank
maybe we should do another episode in a year for the next Thanksgiving, and be grateful to even more people.
I would love that. And you know what? We could do top 30 on Thanksgiving list if that's what you want to do. It'll be your whole world. That'll be your thing. So and that's yours. That's his date. Everybody don't ask for it. So it has been set. It is written.
And we'll see if next year PJs makes a list.
See, ain't nobody asked for that. JG, you know what? You ain't right. You know what? I love your sense of humor. That is so funny. I really appreciate you coming on. I will get us all together here and end us out. We went over just a little bit. I don't regret it. It was wonderful. Thank you so much for coming. And look, PJ is giving you a little laugh. Uh,
I know.
he's so fun. Y'all are like he's giving you his love. You guys are just too much, too much. So I appreciate you, JGP. Thanks for coming on the show, and thank you all for watching and joining us and staying with us today. And let's see, we have someone else coming next week. I will let you know who it is because, again, it's going to be an exciting hour. I appreciate you being with us. Thanks so much for joining and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you. Thanks for joining Tish Talks Tech.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Have a great Thanksgiving all. Bye bye.